vary this in terms of cost. So the phenomena is same, but we will look at the same phenomena from the cost perspective. In that figure, in that context that we saw yesterday, we were talking about the total product, the average product, the total product, the marginal product. Uh, but the same thing, I mean, the product, how much cost has incurred to produce the same product. So we can talk in terms of cost also, and the concept of cost is just reverse of the concept of the total product. So the curve, the shapes of the curve in case of cost will be opposite of the shapes which were there in when we were talking about the total product. So let us see how different costs behave in the short run. We have started talking about short run. So in the short run, first we talked about diminishing returns from the total product perspective. Now the same thing, the law of diminishing returns, we are trying to look at the same thing from the cost perspective. So there are similar variables: total cost, fixed cost, and variable cost. Total economic cost of production consisting of fixed and variable. So total cost can be classified into two types: the fixed cost, the fixed component, and the variable component. Variable component is the one which cannot be changed during a short period of time, and variable costs are those costs which can be changed even in a short period of time. Then fixed cost are, that does not vary with the level of output, that can be eliminated only by shutting down. This is the textbook definition of fixed cost. That fixed cost cannot be eliminated. Uh, it can be eliminated only if we shut down the business, shut down the factory, uh, which normally does not happen. And say, for example, in the COVID period, a lot of factories were not working. But if the factory was operating on a rented accommodation, the rent of the factory has to be paid. Uh, Electricity charges, even if we are not using any electricity, there are some fixed charges. So there will be some fixed charges. Labor cost, of course, we can reduce in the short run. We can lay off. We can tell them that you are fired. But maintenance cost of the machinery. So there are some certain costs which cannot be eliminated completely. So those costs are known as fixed costs. The only way that a firm can eliminate its fixed cost is by shutting down. So if the business goes in liquidation, the business is the factory is shut down. Only in this case, the fixed cost can become zero. Average total cost. When total cost is divided by the level of output, that gives us average total cost. So if total cost is divided by number of output, or the level of output, that gives us average total cost. And if we are dividing the fixed cost by the level of output, that will give us average fixed cost. Similarly, if we are dividing the average variable cost, average cost, variable cost with the total output, that will give us the figure that we know as average variable cost. So if we divide variable cost by the level of output or number of output, or the quantity that the firm has produced, Q. So if we divide the variable cost by the level of output, or the Q, it will give us the average variable cost. So these are some of the variables that we will look at how they behave in the short period of time, or how they behave, how they look in the graphical form in the short run production. Fixed cost, the same thing that I have explained, the same thing has written here. Shutting down does not necessarily mean going out of business. By reducing the output of a factory to zero, the company could eliminate the costs of raw material, much of the labor cost. The only way to eliminate fixed costs would be to close the doors, turn off the electricity, and perhaps even sell off or scrap the machine. How do we know which costs are fixed and which costs are variable? Over a very short period of time or a very short period, uh, uh, say a month, most costs are fixed. Over such a short period, a firm is usually obligated to pay for contracted shipments. So in a very short period of time, say for example 1 month, every cost is fixed because nothing can be changed, nothing can be reduced. Uh, Over a year and a longer than 1 year period, say 10 years, long term horizon like 10 years, nearly all costs are available. All costs are of the nature of variable. Workers and managers can be laid off, employment can be reduced by attrition, and much of the machinery can be sold off and can be replaced as those machineries become obsolete and scrapped. So in a very short period of time, every cost is variable. In a very long period, say for example 10 years, every cost is fixed. So every cost is variable in the long period, and in the short period, every cost is fixed. Marginal cost, uh, similar to the concept of marginal product. Marginal cost is the increase in cost resulting from the production of one extra unit of output. So if the firm produces an extra unit of output, how much the cost is increasing, how much the cost is changing as a result of producing one additional unit of output. So if the firm is producing one additional unit of output, how much the cost is increasing? That figure is known as marginal cost. Formula-wise, mathematically, marginal cost can be expressed as delta variable cost divided by delta Q, or in other words, we can say change in variable cost divided by change in quantity. Similarly, it can also be computed as change in total cost divided by change in quantity, because the fixed component of the cost will remain constant. So whether we take average variable cost, the change in the average variable cost, or the change in total cost, uh, the matter is same, because the fixed component of the total cost is what? Total cost is variable cost plus fixed cost, and fixed cost component is will remain fixed. So whether we take the change in the total cost or we take the change in the total variable cost, both are same thing, and we have to divide that by the change in the quantity of the output to give us the figure that is called marginal cost. So here is a quick quiz in front of you on your screen. So say for example, Maruti's total cost of producing 4 Alto cars is rupees 2,25,000, and its total cost of producing 5 cars is 2,50,000. What is the average cost of producing 5 cars? And second question is, what is the marginal cost of fifth car? So can anybody answer? Can anybody just switch on his unmute herself or himself? And
Sir, 50,000 and 25,000.
First, tell me the average total cost.
50,000.
Sir, 50,000, and sir, marginal cost is 25,000.
Same, sir.
Okay, Noman Malik, thank you very much. You are correct. So how will we calculate the average cost? We will divide the total cost by the number of output. Total cost is 2,50,000 and number of output is 5. So 2,50,000 divided by 5. This will give us the figure of average cost. And marginal cost. Marginal cost is the addition in the total cost as a result of additional output, additional 1 unit of output. So when we were producing 4 Alto, the cost was 2,25,000, and when we increased the production to 5, the total cost increased to 2,50,000. So how much increase is there in the total cost? We will just take the difference, and that is 25,000. So this is the basic concept of average cost and marginal cost. We will look at the behavior of these two types of cost and look how they behave in the short-run production function. So this is the some kind of data related to cost of a firm, and in the first column, the rate of output units per year is given. In the second column, fixed cost is given. If you will observe that in the first column, the number of unit is increasing. That is why we that is the variable component. As far as the fixed component is concerned, it will remain fixed. It will not change. That is why we call it fixed cost. And in the third column, the variable cost is there. So as the number of output is increasing, the variable cost is also increasing. But the fixed cost is same. So whether we are producing 0 number of units or we are producing 100 unit, 10 unit of output, the fixed cost is same. That is 50 rupees. But the variable cost, when the production was 0, the variable cost was 0. So that is the concept of variable cost. That if we reduce the output to 0, the variable cost will come down to 0. So, and as we increase the output, the variable cost will keep increasing. So look at this table. Initially it was 0, then it became 50, then 78, then 98, and like that. And initially it increased. Then 112, then 130, then 150. So basically it is increasing, continuously increasing. Initially the rate of increase is very high, but later on the rate of change is low. So that is the behavior of variable cost. Then the total cost is basically the sum of fixed cost and variable cost. So this 3 is actually the sum of fixed cost and variable cost. Then this is the marginal cost. We already know that marginal cost is the increase in the total cost. So the change in the total cost has been given here. From 50 to 100, the change is 50. So we have written here 50. From 100 to 128, the change is 28. So 28 is here. So these figures are known as marginal cost. Marginal cost. So if we divide the fixed cost by the number of output, that gives us the figure of average fixed cost. If we divide the fixed cost by the number of output, it will give us the figure of, it gives us the figure of average fixed cost. And you can see here that fixed cost is, is fixed, but the number of output is changing, is increasing. So if the numerator is same and denominator is increasing, what will happen? If the numerator is 50 only and we are increasing the denominator from 1 to 10,
Value will decrease.
thank you very much, Waqas. The value will decrease because the denominator is increasing. So that is what you can observe in this table, that average fixed cost is decreasing. Initially it was 50. Why 50? Because 50 divided by 1, 50, and 50 divided by 2, 25, 50 divided by 3, 16.7, like that. So the fixed cost. So this is the first thing that you can very clearly understand, that average fixed cost will keep decreasing as we increase the level of production. As we increase the level of production, the average fixed cost will keep decreasing and decreasing. So look at this table. Initially it was 50, then it has decreased to 5. When the level of output was increased to 10, the average fixed cost decreased to 5. So this is the behavior of, this is the how the average fixed cost curve looks. The curve will always be downward, and if we draw a curve depicting 50, a drop from 50 to 5, how the curve will look? It will be a downward sloping curve. So initially the rate of increase will be high, then it will, the rate of decrease will be, will become slow. So that is why it will be a curve. Instead of a line, it will be a curve. So this is the behavior of average fixed cost. Now let us look at average variable cost. Average variable cost is what? Variable cost divided by number of output. So variable cost is given in the third column. If we divide this third column by the level of output, that will give us the figure of average variable cost. So average variable cost, if we see, it is reducing initially from 50 to 39, then 32, then 28, then 26, then 25, then till 25, the average variable cost is decreasing. So initially in the short run production function, the average variable cost decreases, but after some time it starts increasing. So there is an optimum point. Beyond that, the average variable cost starts increasing. So it is, we will look at the reasons why this happens and just after some time, but just try to imbibe this thing, that average variable cost initially initially decreases, then it starts increasing after some time. This is the behavior of average variable cost in the short run production function. And if we combine average fixed cost and average variable cost, that gives us the figure of average total cost. Total cost is what? Variable cost plus fixed cost. If we combine these two costs and divide it by the total number of output, it will render us average total cost. So the behavior of average total cost is similar to the behavior of average variable cost with some change. So let us look at the curves.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, can you please explain marginal cost column again?
Okay. Just 1 minute. Marginal cost. Marginal cost is basically the increase in the total cost as a result of an additional unit of output. If a firm produces an additional unit of output, the change in the total cost or the change in the variable cost is known as marginal cost. Why we can take we can talk in terms of total cost also, we can talk in terms of variable cost also, because the the total cost includes variable cost and fixed cost. So the will always be in the variable cost. So the change will not be in the fixed cost. The change will always be in the variable cost. So if we divide the change in the variable cost by the number of by the change in the output, we type here change in variable cost divided by change in output, the quantity. So this is what? This is marginal cost. Marginal cost. But we can also write this as change in total cost divided by change in quantity. Both are same thing, because total cost includes variable cost plus fixed cost. Fixed cost, this component will always remain unchanged. This component will remain unchanged. So the change will occur only in the variable cost. So whether we look at the change in the total cost or we look at the change in the variable cost, it will give us the same figure. And in this table, we are talking about in this formula, the change in the quantity. The example that we have taken, uh, so in this table, the change in the number of units, the change in the output is 1, 0 to 1, then 1 to 2, then from 2 to 3. So there is no need to uh, consider the change, because the change is only 1. So in some cases the change can be in multiple of 5 or multiple of 10 or multiple of 20. In that case, we this formula will help us. Otherwise, the change in the total cost will be the marginal cost, or the change in the, because the denominator will always be 1. In this example, the denominator will be 1, because the change in quantity is 1.
Excuse me, sir.
So just the change in the total cost or the change in the variable cost will be termed as marginal cost. Now let us look at the behavior of these curves. Let us start with fixed cost curve. This is fixed cost curve. Look at here, case 1. So as the figure is not changing in the table, so in the curve also it is not changing. It is a line. It's a line. So it will be a line which is parallel to the x-axis. So because it is not changing, it is 50. So 50 figure is around here, 50. So the cost will remain constant. And as far as the variable cost is concerned, variable cost will increase at an increasing rate initially. Then an inflection point will come. No, it will increase at a decreasing rate. Then after that in inflection point, the rate of increase will further increase. So S shape, S shape? No, no, it will not be S shape. What shape we can call it? Okay, leave that. So initially it increases, then it reaches an inflection point, then again it starts increasing. The variable cost it starts increasing. So this is the behavior. And if we add the fixed cost and the variable cost, it will give us the total cost curve. So the total cost curve will start from here, the point where the 50 is there. But the variable cost curve will start from zero, because as we saw in the table, that when the production was zero, the variable cost was also zero. So that is why the variable cost curve will start from zero. But the total cost curve will start from the point where 50 is there. Because when the production was zero, the fixed cost was 50. So the total cost curve is the sum of total cost is basically sum of total cost curve is sum of variable cost plus fixed cost. So in this graphical representation of these three variables, you can see that TC, total cost, is basically sum of variable cost and fixed cost. Total cost is same, but it has shifted 50 upwards. The shape is same. The shape of the total cost curve is same as the shape of variable cost. The only difference is that it will shift upwards. It will shift upwards equal to fixed cost. So fixed cost is 50. That is why it has shifted upwards. So that is the behavior of variable cost. Consider the line drawn from the origin point A. The slope of the line measures average variable cost. Uh, Total cost of 150 divided by, because the slope of the BC curve is the marginal cost, tangent. So let us talk about marginal cost. Look at the this curve that is red. Initially, marginal cost will decrease. Then, after this inflection point, where it is touching the average variable cost, so marginal cost curve will cut the average variable cost curve to its minimum point. So the minimum point where the average variable cost is minimum, on that point, this is the point. On this point, marginal cost curve will cut average variable cost. And this is the same point where the rate of change in the variable cost is changing, because the rate of change was initially slow, and after this point, the rate of change has increased. So both average variable cost and marginal cost are behaving same. Initially, they are decreasing. Then after some point, they have started increasing. Similarly, is the behavior of average total cost. Initially, it will decrease. Then after some point, it will increase. Similarly, if you this is the average fixed cost curve, which is not very visible. It will keep decreasing and decreasing, as we talked just a few minutes before that. Since the numerator is fixed and we are increasing the denominator, so the average fixed cost will always look like this. It will start from here and it will keep coming down and down, down, like this. What is this? This is average fixed cost. So the marginal cost is decreasing, then it starts. Now let us talk about the reasons why this happens. What is the economic reason behind this behavior. So most of the cost curves are, in academic, in bookish words, we call them as U-shaped. Look at these cost curves. MC curve is this red one. This is, U type. Similarly, the average variable cost and average total
Sir,
cost.
the shape of these curves will remain the same in all the given data.
See, for each firm, if we take empirical data, the the shapes will be different for each firm. This is the normal behavior that researchers have found that normally this happens. Just like the law of demand and law of supply, this is also a kind of finding by researchers that most of the firms behave like this. Most of the firms behave like this. Like initially, the marginal cost will decrease, then the marginal cost will start increasing. Similarly, initially the average variable cost will decrease. Then after some time, if we keep increasing the level of output, uh, the uh, the average variable cost will start increasing. This happens. I mean, the shape. I mean, if we draw the shape, they will be almost similar. Will not be exact, but almost similar. And there can be exceptions also. But when we learn something in economics, we mean that most of the firms, what we mean that, why we study, because most of the firms behave like that. Because researchers have studied thousands of firms and they have concluded uh, things like that. But if we are talking specifically about a single firm, for example, if we take the example of a lock manufacturing unit in Aligarh, and if we take the data for fixed cost and variable cost, actual data, and we draw these curves, I mean the average variable cost and marginal cost. So definitely the curve will be slightly different, will not be exactly like this, but it will be U-shaped. U-shaped means it will first decrease, then it will start increase. So when the marginal product of labor is rising, the marginal cost of output is falling. See, in the diminishing marginal returns, we saw that initially the total output is increasing at an increasing rate. So in that example, we were talking in terms of output, and the cost is just the reverse of the output concept. So when the marginal product of labor is rising, the marginal cost of output is falling. When the marginal product of labor is falling, the marginal cost of production is rising. So the marginal product and marginal cost, these are just opposite of each other. Marginal cost and marginal product. So if the marginal cost is increasing, the marginal product will decrease at the same time. Why marginal cost is increasing? Because marginal product is decreasing. And if the marginal product is increasing, then the marginal cost will decrease. So they are opposite of each other, marginal product and marginal cost. Thus the marginal cost of production falls and then rises, forming a U shape, because the marginal product of labor rises and then falls.
Sir, what is marginal product?
Marginal product, uh, who are you? Who, Mohammad Akdas?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Akdas, marginal product is the change in the total output. Say for example, let me give you an example. This is the formula for marginal product. The change in the output divided by change in the input. So in this example, we are considering labor as an input, and we are increasing the labor by 1 unit from 1 to 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So this denominator will remain 1. So there is no need of dividing the change in quantity. So if we increase the change in the total number of output is known as marginal product. Say for example, if a lock manufacturing unit is producing 1,000 locks per day, and it increases the output from 1,000 locks to 15,000 or 1,000 to 2,000. So the change is 1,000. From 1,000 to 2,000, the change in the output is 1,000. So the change in the output is known as marginal product. So that is one unit, that is one variable through which we can understand the behavior of output. I mean average and marginal and total. So marginal cost. So this is marginal product. So marginal product, the behavior of marginal product will be just opposite of the behavior of the marginal cost. The shape of the cost curve is U-shaped. The shape of the marginal cost is always U-shaped like this, like this. This is marginal cost curve. That it is decreasing initially, then after some time it starts increasing. This is the shape of marginal cost curve. But the shape of marginal product curve will be opposite of this. Opposite of this, what I mean by opposite, will be like this. This is what? This is marginal product. But marginal product will initially increase, then after reaching its maximum, it will start decreasing. And as we saw in the law of diminishing returns, it will not only decrease, but it can go in the negative territory also. It can become negative also. And if we look at the curve here, this is the V shape, the reverse V, the inverse V shape is actually the marginal product curve. So initially it increases, then after some time it starts decreasing and it goes in the negative direction. So this is marginal product curve, and what I am saying is that the marginal product curve and marginal cost curve will be opposite of each other. So if the marginal product curve is like this, the marginal cost curve will be like this. This is marginal cost. Initially it will decrease, then after some time it starts increasing. We have already talked about average fixed cost. That average fixed cost falls as more output is produced because the numerator is a fixed number, but the denominator, the quantity of output increases as more is produced. Another way to think about this relationship is that as more output is produced, the fixed cost is spread over more units of. Just think like this: that if the fixed cost of a factory is 10 lakh rupees, if the fixed cost of a factory is 10 lakh and the number of units that the factory is producing is also 10 lakh. So 10 lakh divided by 10 lakh. So the fixed cost is spreading over for more units. Initially, it was spreading over 10 lakh units. Now it will spread over 20 lakh units. the fixed cost will spread over more number of output, more number of units. Another way to think about this relationship is that as more output is produced, the fixed cost is spread over more units of as output increases. This reflects diminishing returns to the variable input. Each additional unit of output incurs more variable cost to produce than the previous. So variable cost. So variable cost rises at a faster rate than the quantity of output. So these are basically two effects. So the first type of effect is spreading effect, and the second effect is diminishing effect. Initially, in the initial stage, the spreading effect is more into operation. That is why initially the average cost decreases. But after some time, the diminishing returns effect comes into play, and the average cost or the average marginal cost starts increasing. So when the spreading effect is in effect, the average cost increases. When the diminishing returns effect is when the diminishing returns effect is into play, the average cost starts increasing. So let me write here. See, the cost curve would look like this. Up till this point,
Sir, this is, say, for example, average variable cost, your average cost curve. So average cost curve initially decreases, then it starts increasing. So from here to here, the spreading effect is more spreading. And from this point onwards, the law of diminishing return effect is more diminishing return. So if the spreading effect is dominant, the average cost will decrease. If the spreading effect is dominant, the average cost will decrease, and if the diminishing return effect is dominant, the average cost will start rising. Has everybody typed his and her name in the chat box? And if you have typed your name, just be sure I will take note of that. There is no need to type your name and roll number in the group. I will save the attendance from